Hello there guys, Eric Chalner here for Forever Football, DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel. Well, there we go. That's the first result done. 2-1 defeat. We can take some positives, can take negatives from this. I think overall it was disappointing, the result. The performance was quite disappointing at times. But at the same time, you've got to take into account the players. Obviously, Dahlberg and Gardner were only eligible to play yesterday for today. So, you know, it's going to take some time for these players to gel. And you need to understand that this season probably is going to be a soft burner. It's going to take some time for us to get used to each other. You know, we may have been beaten by one of the favourites for the relegation zone. But you know what? I can only see us going the other way, and that's up. But even though this could be a soft burner season, we have to take that into account, and the fact that the players are going to gel further down the weeks. We do have to be constructively criticising constructively about some of the mistakes that was in that performance. So please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification bell to see them YouTube video. And we're going to get straight into everything that happened in the match. But before, we have a brand new segment to these reviews, and that is looking at the scores in all three divisions. So, let's start off with the Championship. And we have the full-time scores there. Blackburn Rovers 2, Swansea City 1, Bristol City 1, Blackpool 1, Cardiff City 1, Barnsley 1, Derby County 1, Huddersfield Town 1, Luton Town 3, Peterborough United 0, Preston North End 1, Hull City 4, QPR 1, Millwall 1, Stoke City 3, Reading 2, and of course Sheffield United versus Birmingham was the late kickoff. That is evening kickoff as it stands, as of recording this. Other scores in League 1, Bolton Wanderers 3, MK Dons 3, Cambridge United 1, Oxford United 1, Crewe Alexandra 1, Cheltenham Town 1, Fleetwood Town 0, Portsmouth 1, Gillingham 1, Lincoln City 1, Ipswich Town 2, Morecambe 2, Rotherham United 2, Plymouth Argyle 0, Shrewsbury Town 0, Burton Albion 1, Sunderland 2, Wigan Athletic 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Accrington Stanley 1, and Charlton Athletic and Sheffield Wednesday was an evening kickoff, but that ended up finishing 0-0 anyway. And then finally League 2, Carlisle United 0, Colchester United 0, Exeter City 0, Bradford City 0, Forest Green Rovers 2, Sutton United 1, Harrogate Town 3, Rochdale 2, that's a big scoreline there. Hartlepool Town United 1, not Hartlepool Town, Hartlepool United 1, Crawley Town 0, Mansfield Town 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Northampton Town 1, Port Vale 0, Oldham Athletic 0, Newport County 1, Salford 1, Leyton Orient 1, Scunthorpe 1, Swindon Town 3, Stevenage 1, Barrow 0, and Tranmere 1, Walsall 0. That is all the EFL scores around the Championship, League 1 and League 2, and of course one big League 1 score that we're looking at in this video is of course our result. Doncaster Rovers 1, AFC Wimbledon 2. Now, like I said, it is a soft burner season. It's going to take a while for these players to gel together, but that does not mean we can't not be constructively criticising some of the mistakes in that game, because we looked all over the place at times. I'll be honest with you. The hoofball sometimes in the game, at times throughout the first half and the second half, was quite uneasy to watch. When we played it along the ground and we played nice passing games and got more direct with the ball, that's when we looked our best. But AFC Wimbledon just wanted it more, in my opinion. I think the first half was a slow burner. We looked nervous, we looked a bit shaky. We gradually got better to the end of the first half. Second half, we came out quicker, got the goal. And then we suddenly fell apart in the second half and faded away, and then they we allowed them to take advantage of our misfortunes, and again in the final third we just can't finish. The goal we got was of course Charlie Seaman, and for AFC Wimbledon, Sal scored with an assist from Luke McCormick, and then Luke McCormick goes and does what he did for Bristol Rovers in that 2-0 win for them last season, and score against us again. What a surprise, Luke McCormick gets involved in the goals. What a surprise, an assist in the goal. Brilliant. The first goal I think was offside. I'll be honest with you, I think the goal was offside. Referee was poor in that game. I'm not using the referee as an excuse for why we lost, but I'll just speak about the referee a little bit later on in more detail. But the first goal was offside in my opinion. Second goal, Dahlberg in the build-up, maybe should have done a bit better than that. And then the free kick, and the free kick goal already anyway was good anyway. But the second goal was a decent finish. You know, Luke McCormick with a decent finish. Our goal was great. You know, to see him with a great finish from a considerable distance. My man of the match is probably going to be Pontus Dahlberg. Despite the build-up for the second goal, I think that overall he was, you know, he still put in a better performance than other players. I personally do feel like he stopped a lot of chances. He stopped it from being 3-4-5 once I caught a fish alive. But I think that overall Pontus Dahlberg was probably one of the stronger players. Charlie Seaman was in with a shout, so was Matt Smith. But since it's the Olympics season, I sort of gave a poll table for the man of the match award, for my man of the match award. So gold, I've given it to Pontus Dahlberg, silver Matt Smith, bronze Charlie Seaman. So that's my sort of top three for the man of the match award. But let's go through the player ratings now for this particular show. So we start off with the goalkeeper, Pontus Dahlberg. I'm going to give him a high 6. I'm going to be generous here and give him a high 6. Well, not generous. I'm going to be brutal and give him a high 6. I think the mistake for the build-up of the second goal sort of dragged it down from a 7 to a 6, but still a high 6. It's still one of the highest ratings in the squad, which is saying something after some of the performances today. But you know, I think Dahlberg did put in a better shift than other people. Carl Noyle, 6. I think at times he looked pretty good. I think he was getting down, up and down, created those partnerships. It's just a shame that we didn't get the result for him. So I think Noel looked alright today, so I'm going to give him a 6. Williams, I'm going to give him a 6 as well. Again, a little bit ropey at times in the defence, but overall, you know, it wasn't really his fault for the goals. So, you know, I think Williams did okay. Anderson, 5. I think that's a fair shout, to be honest. I think Anderson with a 5. I think there's a reasoning behind that, because I think he looked extremely ropey in that game, and I'm not even joking. I think he looked really ropey in that game. He didn't look like his usual self at all. You know, I personally feel like he was just not himself. He didn't look himself. I didn't think he was focused at times, and overall, hopefully he improves on that. Tommy Rowe, again, 6. I think that's a very easy rating, to be honest. I think that's a fair one. I think Rowe did alright. He didn't do amazing, but he did okay. And it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's just one of those things. So 6 for Rowe for me. Going into the midfield, Smith, I'm going to give him a 6. Again, he was probably one of the better players, one of the 3 better players in the field for me. He faded away in the second half, I'll have to say that, but overall, I think that Matt Smith definitely, you know, deserved some credit today. Ben Close, 5. I thought he was quite lost in that midfield today, to be honest. I think he was quite lost for most of the match, but hopefully he does improve on that, and it is just burning off the last remaining sort of pre-season nerves, I guess, even though we are in the league now. But yeah, not the greatest performance from Close today. Gardner, 6. Again, did alright. Was a bit confused at times in the first half, but overall, just okay. Barlow, 6. Again, a lot of pace. Did quite well at times. Put in a couple of good crosses. A couple of crosses maybe should have improved on. But again, with Gardner in the first half, there was a bit of confusion over where they were placing. So, you know, there was a bit of confusion in communication. And that was one of the big negatives for me with this team. It was a lack of consistent, crucial communication between team players. I think there was not a lot of talking. I could hear Wimbledon players talking, and you never really hear the players talking unless the crowd falls silent. So I never really heard the Rovers players at times. So, you know, that's something we've got to work on extremely. But Barlow, I guess, a 6 for me. Chakur, I'm going to give him a 6 as well. I think he was in the right areas at times, but just didn't have the support to help him. I felt sorry for him in a way, but he did look a bit lost in the first half as well. And so, you know, I think overall Chakur maybe needs to do a little bit better, but he didn't have much support either. And then finally, Charlie Seaman, I'm going to give him a 6. I think he did quite well, took the goal brilliantly. That's one of the main positives to take from this, that we got a goal from it. And, you know, Seaman can just look forward now to see what happens in his next game. Obviously, we did have the substitutions for this match. We obviously brought on 3 substitutions. So of course, we're gonna with the substitutions this season. We're gonna go in probably substitute order. So the order of when the substitutes came on. So let's go through the first substitution that was made. And this was from the 60th minute. Gardner coming off for Bostock. Bostock I'm going to give a 6. I think overall it was just alright. Did bits. I was speaking to 18 Dapper about it after the match. Shout out to 18 Dapper for the chat. Not on camera, just between us. But we were talking about Bostock. He did little bits here and there. But overall, you know, just did all right. You know, nothing too detrimental or poisonous to the atmosphere of the game. He did quite well, so I give him a 6 for that. Next substitution, the 66th minute. In fact, the last 2 substitutions in the 66th minute. Barlow and Chakur came off. Cameron John and Omar Bogle coming on for us. So first of all, Cam John, I'm going to give Cam John a 6. Again, got forward quite a bit. Wimbledon fans saying after the match that, you know, him coming forward was quite dangerous at times. But again, just didn't really have the impact that a substitution should have. So overall, a 6 is a fair one. Omar Bogle, again, 6. I think a low 6 for this one. Had a header over the bar. But his build-up play and some of his positioning was better than last season. But again, just needs to keep working on that for me. So 6 out of 10 for me for them. So that is my player ratings. Now, what do we need to do in our next game against Sheffield Wednesday, the rivals, Darren Moore's squad? What do we need to do at Hillsborough? I tell you what we need to do. We need to do a whole lot more gelling together over this game. A whole lot more gelling together, absolutely. And, you know, I'm really, really hoping that this was just the last of trying to get used to each other in terms of the playing squad. And hopefully, fingers crossed now, we can just crack on and just go for it. Just try and just gel a bit more together and just feel a bit more like a squad again. So I really hope that overall, you know, we'll do a lot better than what we did. But we'll see what happens with this. But before we end it, I do have the Free Press article with Wellens' comments on the game. Wellens admitted it was far from the reunion he hoped for. He said to the Free Press, "The biggest disappointment for me is that we didn't give the crowd enough to sing about and turn into an atmosphere that it should have been on the opening day. Maybe that gave Wimbledon a bit more freedom to play. They were away first, they could have given that. I think at times we looked really nervous, especially in the first half." Wellens fielded the 10 debutants on the day, and they looked disjointed throughout the game, and that's control of proceedings. He said to the Free Press, "At times we did look like a team that was just made up, but we'll get better and we'll improve." And that's what I keep saying, you know, it's a slow burner this season for us, because we're sort of getting used to each other. But we need to do it quickly, he says. We're under no illusions that we're in a tough league. We need to get it right quickly. This is the first time that 11 has played together. I picked a team for Thursday, and then on Friday you're having to change it because of injury concerns. Charlie has done great today, but you could see him at times that he was a right back playing higher up the pitch. Bogle was not even training on Friday because he's got a slight tear in his calf. Do you want to start with someone with that? No. We knew we'd only get 70 minutes out of Thiago because he's had COVID and he's trying to get up to speed. You want to save some energy for the bench. Seaman obviously putting the goal in for Rovers before Aya, Asal and McCormick with their goals. So overall, in terms of Wellens' post-match conference, I think he did all right with that. I think he came out open, honest as usual, and his comments were fair. This is going to be a slow burner, and people need to get used to that. So there we go. That is my first match review of the season. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And for now, guys, my name is Aaron Chandler from Thrower Football, DRFC. Keep living the Rovers life, and that, my friends, full-time. Rovers Side Eye. Shout out to everyone that was at the game. Shout out to everyone that saw me on the day. And let's get this season underway. Come on, let's get 3 points against Sheffield Wednesday and shut their fans up.